What is up, ones? This is Aspectron here, and welcome back to another episode of Route Number 9 as promised. Again, this actually came up a lot later than I thought it would, but I'm not gonna lie, I stalled, and then, yeah. 2020 just can't get any worse, can it? It's heartbreaking, man. Yeah, you know. I mean, I don't know what to say. 2020 is one of the worst years in human history, as far as I would think, but goddamn. That's all I gotta say. And unfortunately for Daichi, it seems like it's not gonna get any better, because I remember now. So subject A is Daichi and Seiji subject B, because which means this is gonna be interesting, because like what so I read the comments, and it's really, again, I am going to make a video on that. That's going to be coming up tomorrow, by the way, where I'm going to read the comments. May not one for room number 9, but it's going to be ones that are not on room number 9. But later on, I'll do like a room number 9 answer your comment video type of thing, right? Because I love y'all's comments, I really do. So that, I know someone made a point, I forgot who, I think it was Lourdes, I think it was you. If it is, I'm sorry, but I forgot who left the comment. But if we go based off what happened in day 1, they did give Seiji a instructional video, and as we know, like, he is really like he's precise, to say the least, and he's very careful. And he even says, because, you know, it's his best friend, he wants to be as careful as he can. And as you can tell, we came out okay. We got the right amount of blood, we didn't go too far, we didn't hit bone, we got the vein, like, it was perfect. It went really well. This is going to be tougher though than that. I mean, I'm not going to doubt that whatsoever. Task 2 is going to be much tougher than task 1, because again, it is like a surgery type of wound that they want us to make. The question is, what the heck do they want us to do with that? I mean, I guess they just want us to, because the last time it's like, okay, they want our blood, but whatever. But this time it's just like, make a cut and that's it, which is kind of strange. But I'm assuming, again, that they are going to give us an instruction video on how to not mess this up. In this case, it's nice to have Seiji here, because if it was Daichi doing it, then I would be, if I was Seiji, I'd be like, fuck no. But we also have to, we also have to remember that it depends on the participants, and Seiji seems like one, he's very careful and precise, and it's best to his skills weird enough, I guess. But like, let's say for me, for example, if I was subject B and I had to make incision on Daichi, I would probably tell Daichi, like, dude, like, I am not comfortable with this. Like, I am not good at the game of operation. Like, I don't have a steady hand, for one, and I definitely just, I can't like measure things like based off how it looks, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't even know the length of my keyboard. Like, I'm guessing it's like 1.5 feet, but I'm probably way wrong on that. You see what I mean? Like, it's probably even 12 inches, but it's something I'm just not good at. It's one of my weaknesses. Like, I can't look at my TV right here and just be like, what's the size of the TV? What are the dimensions? I can't do that. Although, again, I'm sure they'll give you, like, I'm sure like the people who are doing this whole thing is going to give an instruction video on like how to measure it too, but at the same time, it's like I don't trust myself with that personally. But in this case, if I'm looking at from the character's point of view, I would probably choose at task 2 again, just because I do trust Seiji in this case, and I don't think we have to go to task 1 yet, because I would rather stick to physical injuries until, because I'm assuming task 1's always going to be like something that's mentally booming, if you will, and task 2 is going to be something that's physically harming. I don't know why I said mentally booming. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. And I feel like Daichi right now would trust Seiji after what he did the first time. It's like, I feel like he could do it really well again, but I guess we have that choice this time around. But I forgot what you said, Lourdes. I mentioned your comment. I don't even remember what I was going to say about your comment, but I'll leave that later on. But oh, I think you made a comment about, like, you know, you might screw up and you're not sure how deep you're cutting, which is probably true. But the thing is, like, they have given instructions, at least for the first task, which is why I'm like, they're probably going to do that again, where it could make Seiji's life much easier when he makes the cut. And that is also a good point. We're not sure because again, they're not even telling us. We probably have to click on the option first to find out more details, but it's one of those things where it's like we probably click on it to see like, okay, what are they going to give us? Are they going to give us something to like numb the part of the body where he's going to cut, or is this going to be like a straight up? Because that is going to be painful. I will agree. I think that was actually from VidServant who said something like that, where it's like, again, if they don't numb that area where you're making that surgical cut, like that is going to be painful as hell. In that case, I might choose subject or task 1, because at least it's not super painful, but I don't know. We'll see. So without further ado, let's go and continue on some more room number 9. I'm sorry for ranting, but you know how I am. I couldn't keep my voice from cracking. Seiji, or I'm sorry, Seiji, what the hell is that? Who the hell is that? But Seiji seemed to have expected as much too, but still gave a sigh of frustration. I guess this meant the difficulty would escalate each time we completed a task. I felt better for once, I said it out loud. I mean, of course. I wasn't sure Seiji could could do it though.
Daichi.
Seiji looked me right in the eye with a calm expression on his face and his eyes gleaming. He seemed a little mad. He stared me down with the uncharacteristic menace. Oh, Jesus. You really are a gentle soul, Seiji. Seiji would be sad for me in the moment, and that was enough sadness for me. I wasn't sure he would really understand the sentiment if I voiced it, though. He wouldn't meet my gaze, and he seemed like he wanted to say something but was holding back. When he finally looked away, he was back to his usual self. Calm, handsome, and steady as ever. Well, yeah. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to milk you. You know that, right? Are you cool with that? Is what I really would have liked to say, but I just ended up gulping at the same time as he did. I couldn't exactly say that out loud. I knew it wasn't like he suggested it because he particularly wanted to do it either, and it was a little too fucked up to be a joke. And that sucks too. I mean, I have to think about that. Like, for Seiji's point of view, like, he was really great at what he did. Like, he did it perfectly, but also I can't forget too, like, that's mentally damaging too for Seiji. Like, no matter what, none of us are going to come out like perfectly fine, if you will, and both physically and mentally we're not, because even from Seiji's point of view, I don't know how I forgot about this, but he has a lot of pressure on him. Like, because like, it's one of those things where Daichi, he can say like, it's okay, but like, so for someone as like I can understand, like myself for example, like, even though I know it's like not my fault, like I will still blame myself for it. And I feel like Seiji would do the same thing in this case, where it's like, if he does mess up, he'll feel nothing but guilt for as long as he'll live, probably. And it sucks. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on him, and he's scared to mess up, you know. I can't forget about that. I really can't. I practically did, but it kind of just hit me again. But he let out a little huff of laughter, knowing we were on the same page. Just the thought of physically hurting Seiji made my body go cold, and it made it painfully clear to me that I never wanted to do that, or make him do that either. Though, I don't want to do the other option either. But I knew that fretting endlessly about how much both options suck, wasn't going to change our situation. So we decided to go with Seiji's option this time. Was it really the best choice? There was obvious trepidation in his voice, not typical for Seiji, which almost made it almost interesting to see. Yeah, we needed to play it cool. Treat it like it's no big deal. That'd probably make things a lot easier. Probably. Wow, so we're actually okay. So just a reminder for everybody, in case it seems like we're about to go with option 1 or task 1, you know, the milking. If we do this, I'm just giving you guys a heads up again. if there is a CG of, probably even not a CG, but when it's happening, when we're completing the task, if you will, it's only going to be up available on Patreon. If you want to check that out and check out the scene, Patreon link will be in the description box down below. Just giving you guys a heads up ahead of time, so in case you're wondering why there was a big cut in between. I wasn't exactly excited about the prospect myself, but I couldn't lie to him. It's not like we had any other options anyway, and the both of us knew that. He seemed to be thinking about something, but what, I had no idea. I'd never seen Seiji change his mind like this in a conversation before. Seiji was always so calm and collected, and it was almost interesting to see him in this state. He seemed a little frustrated and pouty as he looked at me. Exasperated even. When the time came, the LCD windows glowed red with twilight. It was strangely irritating to think about how much effort went into something so trivial. And then it was night. The time on the TV was 9 p.m. and we were relaxing after eating dinner, although it was really less relaxing and more bored out of our minds. The day was almost over, but we still had 8 more to go. The food was good at least, and we had Chinese today. I had that last night. That was freaking delicious. It'd been stir-fried over high heat and was just as delicious as anything you'd find in Chinatown, but that wasn't enough to give us anything resembling hope. Things were tough to say the least. Seiji was staring at his tablet. Not the awful one we've been provided with, but the one he brought himself.
Azumi-kun, nani miten no?
He glanced up at me and snorted. He almost looked offensively attractive, sipping his fancy coffee as he fiddled with his tablet. Beautiful people, honestly.
Messenger to LINE?
Rhyme? Rhyme? Wait a second, Daichi. Are you part of a group? And wait, are you part of Rough Rabbit by chance? If anyone gets that reference, let me know in the comment box. I know a lot of you guys are part of Rough Rabbit, if you know what I mean. Wait, was it Rough Rabbit or was it Tough Rabbit? I think it was Rough Rabbit. You know, when we replay the game later on in the future, we'll find out. That's cool. That too. But it really did sound nice. I'd be a teacher soon, and after all, expanding the breadth of my knowledge could only be a good thing. Plus, I better know more than my students. I mean, teachers are basically the first adults that kids develop a relationship with other than their parents, and that is 100,000% true. Anyways, that's the kind of person you have to be an elementary school teacher, and I want to be a good one. He said, setting the stylishly slim tablet on the table and getting out of his seat. He had a change of underwear in his hand. It was a different pair from the ones that we had returned to us this morning. That's all it took to get my heart pounding in my throat. It was time for us to undertake our task for the day. A comedy variety show on TV filled the room with laughter. We might have been locked up, but the world around us was moving along as normal. I never would have imagined this sort of thing was real before yesterday. While people are laughing and smiling in one place, something awful is happening somewhere else in the world. It's one of those things that's obvious if you think about it, but you usually don't. Everything from simple accidents to acts of deep-seated cruelty and evil, like sharks circling hungry in the dead of night. Awful things are always happening and nobody knows it. The thought weighed heavily on my mind. We didn't have any way to fight back, and I stared down at the task displayed on the tablet. Task 1, Subject A extracts seminal fluid from Subject B. Task 2, Subject B wounds Subject A. I select the first task and hit submit. Selection accepted. Please complete the task. I knew there was a human somewhere behind that robotic response. I could tell there were people here. I could tell from the food that was honestly far too delicious for these circumstances and the expertly laundered and folded clothes. Were they watching now? Were they watching us through the security cameras just like they watch the people on TV? I gazed up at the camera installed on the ceiling. Seiji returned from the bathroom accompanied by a cloud of steam. He put his knee up on the edge of the bed next to where I was sitting. He avoided looking at me and left his glasses on.
課題選択しといた。
The exchange was simple and a matter of fact, nothing more. A commercial jingle filled the silence that followed.
どうやる？
A deep furrow appeared on Seiji's brow. I mean, I couldn't exactly blame him or anything, but he looked extremely unhappy.
やめる？変える？
やるよ。っていうかやれよ。
This time, he glared at me.
はい。
I smacked my face with my palms. If we shifted options out, Seiji would have to hurt me. I couldn't do that to him. But I wondered about how exactly I should approach it. I mean, obviously I need to use my hands, but like, what position should we be in? I figured looking directly at each other would be pretty hard on both of us, and it might have an adverse effect on Seiji's equipment.
どうした？
Okay, so if I had to choose option A, if I had to, I would probably, honestly, because in case you guys don't know, like, I'm straight, and this would be like really awkward for either or. And in this case, like, if it was me, at least in Seiji's position, maybe both, I don't know. I don't know. It's just because it is like one of those things where it's like at the moment, it's like I don't know what exactly I do. But if I was in Seiji's position, to say the least, I would definitely put a blindfold on. And probably for one streak in my life, if I had to be honest with myself, like that's probably what I do. But I'm not, there is a mini bar actually, if I remember correctly. So that's probably the best thing I would do. And I know there's probably not like a blindfold, so I'd probably end up using like a shirt or something, just like anything to cover the eyes, you know, because you might as well let your imagination go wild rather than actually thinking about it. It's like Daichi said, like if they just stared at each other doing it, like it would probably be extremely awkward. I say probably, it's going to be extremely awkward, and it's probably going to take even longer than you would expect, you know. I what would you guys do in this case, out of curiosity? Anyways, just let me know in the comment box down below.
うん。どうしたらいいかなと思って。
I just came out with it, and then Seiji just flopped back on the bed, hugged a fluffy pillow close to his chest, and turned his face away from me.
これでいいか。
I could hear the curt tone of his voice through the pillow. What the What is this music? Okay. That was like, really? What was that music? Wow. Oh my god. Well, hey, you know when this music comes on, you know things are about to go down. So again, if there is a cut in between, I have to remind you, this is going to be up on Patreon. Well, the scene, that is. Anyway, so... Oh, so you can be cute if you feel like it. The novelty of the situation is almost exciting. No, this is not a situation to be having fun with, or would that make things easier? No, I'll keep the glasses on. Okay, I'm starting. Again, Patreon incoming, right?
じゃあ、やります。
I got up onto the bed next to him. It was a king-size bed, so our weight wasn't enough to make the mattress sag. It just gently gave way beneath us. He could smell the faint detergent wafting on Seiji's nightclothes.
うわ、
Just as I was about to slip my hand under his waistband, Seiji tossed the pillow aside and sat
ちょっ
up.
と待って。マスクとか持ってないか。
マスク？
だから。
He was stammering, not quite able to get out whatever he was trying to say.
あ、マスク。匂い。
Look, I looked like I hit the nail on the head. He glared back at me. I let out a little laugh. I probably shouldn't have, but I did.
笑うな。
Don't people say that inappropriate laughter can be a kind of coping mechanism?
嫌だろ普通。
分かってるって。すげえ嫌だよな。マスクはねえから。タオルでいい？てか、一応見ねえでやるけど。
いや。
He tried to say something again, but faltered. It was painfully apparent just how uncomfortable he was. He got like this when he had to draw my blood too. All this was just putting more stress on him. I'm so sorry, dude. He just thought it without saying a
分
word.
かった。
He seemed like he wanted to say something, but I was pretty sure pretending not to notice was the right choice. Yesterday they had us draw blood, and today it was an incision. So what would that make tomorrow's task? I really couldn't be thinking about that at the moment. I just had to focus on getting through right now. Towels, where are the damn towels? I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror as I was pulling the fresh towel off the shelf in the bathroom. What the? On the other side of the glass stood a man with a deranged smile on his face. Deep shadows hung under his eyes as his lips contorted into a hysterical smirk. No, I couldn't let Seiji see me like this. I covered my mouth and went back to the room. The fuck was that? They played all this music for a creepy moment? What the? Seiji had to lay back down. He seemed to be sulking a bit as he hugged the pillow. It was honestly adorable. Damn it. Since when are handsome men allowed to be cute too? Hold up, actually. Backlog. Hold up. I was anxious to see that. On the other side of the glass stood a man with a deranged smile on his face. Oh. Was he talking? I didn't even. Why was I thinking other? He was looking at himself. On the other side of the glass stood a man with a deranged smile on his face. Deep shadows hung under his eyes as his lips. Oh. Okay. If you guys ever seen, either played or watched, I'm not sure if there's a manga on it. I'm pretty sure there is, of what the heck was it called? Euphoria. If you guys know what I mean, watch. I think there is a manga of it. I'm pretty sure there is, at least. But if you have watched, read, or played the game, if you remember the main character, the male character, it was kind of like that too, where when he got in these situations, you could tell he kind of lost himself in the moment. And again, it goes back to the Stanford prison experiment type of thing, where it's like when you're given the power to do something, sometimes, I say sometimes, but for the most part, people literally just go power hungry, and like they have that control and then they can't control themselves. So maybe that's what he saw himself in the mirror, that he's happy he's able to like have control of something, because based on Daichi's character so far that we know, he hasn't had control of his life at all for the most part. And that's kind of sad, as nothing in his life has been going right. So for once, he actually has the power to control something, if that makes any sense. So maybe when he saw that deranged smile, it's like for once he kind of won in a way, but like it's gonna bring out the worst out of him. That's what I'm seeing from that scene alone. Why was I thinking there was someone behind the window or something? Anyways, kind of like that one movie, oh, what was it called? The one where it was at the hotel near Vegas, I think Reno, and like half of half. It was like at a border. What the heck was it called? Like the border of Arizona and Nevada, I think. What the heck was that movie called? It was really good. Chris Hemsworth was in it. The Battle at the El Royale, or something at the El Royale. I forgot what it was. Really good movie, by the way. I'd totally stop a photo with my phone and send it to his girlfriend if it weren't for the unfortunate circumstances. Wait, they broke up? Or does he just look this cute in this pose because he's so hot? What are the girls doing it? Okay, so he might actually be bi. I say that. He probably is. I'm talking about Daichi, of course. I was fascinated by seeing him in such an unusual position, but more than I was reminded of how much I cared about him. What a dear friend he was. That's what really matters, especially in a time like this. Seiji's my friend. He's an incredible person who I'm proud to call my friend. My dearest, closest friend. I love Seiji. If I had to pick the person I cared about the most in my short life so far, it would be Seiji. That was the one thing I couldn't let myself forget. No response. He was quiet. It was almost like he was asleep. I felt like I could try to get his attention to make sure that he wasn't. I sat down next to him, sinking slightly into the probably extremely high quality mattress. I covered my face firmly with the towel with one hand and used the other to reach towards his nether region. My heart was in the throat and my hand trembled. It was like I was about to touch something scary. Don't worry, Daichi. Seiji isn't scary, and neither is his well, let's see, we just had I guess his Wandon, I don't know. His corner on the I don't know. It's not gonna bite or anything though. My hand landed on his shirt, somewhere near his stomach. I must have misjudged the distance. I should have aimed a bit lower. Hello, YouTube. It's good to see you guys again. It was in case you're curious on what happened, we went on a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. That's probably the best way to put it. And as you can tell, that wild ride was truly wild and exhausting. Still out of breath, Seiji groped around for the box of tissues by his head and handed it to me. They had probably been watching the whole time through that camera. There's doing things in poor taste, and then there's this. I had a feeling he couldn't probably see Seiji from that angle, though. I cursed him in mind as I held my sole hand to the camera. That should be enough proof, right? I was still holding the towel over my nose and mouth, but I was confident that my glare got through. When I turned back around, Seiji lazily pulled out several tissues. This time I took the tissues he offered me. It was a better choice than toilet paper, since that always just sticks to your hands and your... Yeah, it does, though, truly. And your Mr. Toad and stuff. I crumbled the tissues in my hand, headed to the bathroom, and closed the door. I know you're not really supposed to flush tissues, but I figured I could get away with it this once. Wait, why am I worried about stopping up in the toilet in a facility run by evil people? That's pretty fucked up, isn't it? Anyway, the crumbled tissue was sucked down the vortex of water. My hands didn't feel normal again until after I washed them with hot and cold water. The sensation of the heat and the way it filled my hand even when it was soft, the relief I felt when it started oozing, you know, milk, and the way it throbbed like my heart was like a heart when he, well, bursted when the dynamite exploded, had all finally left my hand. The lingering smell of soap put me at ease. At that point, I sank down and just sat clumsily on the floor. The thing that really pained me was the sensations left in my hand, but rather the remainder of my heart that I had done something incredibly awful to him. I may have felt guilt and I may not have wanted to do it, but somehow I remained unperturbed. That wasn't even right, really. I was actually kind of having fun, you know, giving Seiji a manicure and making him feel good. I was being mean to him. What kind of person am I? I let out a long sigh, wishing from the bottom of my heart that I could expel my memories of the incident as easily. Man, what the fuck? This is awful. How am I supposed to live with myself after I did this to my best friend? I wonder how I should go back into the room. The smell will probably linger for a while, and I don't know if I can look Seiji in the...
Oi.
When I looked at Seiji standing right in front of me, holding a fresh pair of underwear. He looked a little annoyed as he gestured towards the shower with his chin. Oh, sorry, you want a shower, don't you? Now, if this were me, we were talking about, I'd just wipe myself over with the tissue I blew my wad into and roll over and go to bed. Seiji's always so diligent. It's not like he, you know, he'd stretch with the girl or anything. He didn't even, you know, give himself a manicure. I plopped down on the bed. The sheets weren't stained with, you know, milk or anything. I made the right choice when I caught it with my hand. If we were concerned about it, I guess we could change the sheets. I can't help but wonder if we were given our points for completing the task, so I picked up the irritating tablet to check. Good, we got our points. After 2 days, we have 22 points. 22. Okay, seriously, sorry, but not bad, really. I felt the tension drain from deep within me all at once. I was so glad. Well, maybe that was not really the best choice of words there. I couldn't think anymore. My brain wasn't working. I hadn't realized the TV had been on the whole time until then. The bluish white light flickered against the wall, but I got bored and turned it off before long. I lay down on the edge of bed. I turned my back to Seiji's side and closed my eyes. Drowsiness came over me unbelievably quickly and I lost consciousness. I woke up halfway when Seiji got into bed. I could hear him gently lifting the cover and sliding in. I didn't open my eyes and I went back to sleep. And we're going to end the episode here. We might have an episode tomorrow, but just, you know, don't expect it if it doesn't. Just giving you guys a heads up. But we are going to have a comment video tomorrow. We're going to have a kind of a Q&A, but I'm just answering the comments that you guys left in the videos, the previous videos I left on this channel. So I'm going to do that. And we might have another episode of Room Number 9 tomorrow, but for sure on Sunday. So look forward to that. And again, if you want to see the scene that was cut out, again, it's only available on Patreon. But I did hope you enjoyed this episode of Room Number 9. If you did, leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribing down below. And of course, I'll see you awesomes later with some more Room Number 9 and a Q&A type of video where I just answer y'all's comments. And outside of that, I should stream this weekend. Sometime this weekend, just expect that. So if you haven't, follow me on Twitch down below or subscribe to me on Twitch, would be much appreciated either way. And again, deleted scene. on Patreon only. $1 a month gives you full access to that. Outside of that, thank you guys for supporting me, and thank you for just being awesome. And stay safe out there. Love each other. Wakanda forever. Love y'all, and don't forget to stay awesome.